What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 4, this time, of the Nobody Important podcast. I'm Ramon.
Felipe.
This is Felipe. And we are Nobody Important. As you can see, we finally have a better looking camera system, better looking, as far as like the overall quality, everything nice and kind of wide.
We went to HD, as in we're no longer in 4:3, right? That's
Yeah.
the old aspect ratio.
Yeah, so nice aspect ratio, trying to work out some of the kinks, so bear with us on some of those settings as far as like if you are watching this. But to start off, I think we should start with our new favorite segment in that we are talking about drinks. And so Felipe is our resident mixologist that likes to try a bunch of different things. So what are we drinking tonight?
Tonight we're drinking the official cocktail of Cuba, the Mojito.
There we go. So what's in it?
Lime, a bunch of mint in this case, we both like a lot of mint, rum, and a splash of sparkling water. Oh, and then sugar in there somewhere.
Nice.
Yep.
So great combination, and yeah, like you said, we're both suckers for mint. For glass, it made a really weird sound.
Right?
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't want to drop it and figure out, but hey. Oh, I love the mint.
My only concern is that it
Has a lot of lime.
that it's not entirely. Well, this is weird because you're supposed to dump everything and then you put the sparkling water on top. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the rum's just gonna hit us at the bottom.
Gotcha. Yeah, there is a lot of sparkling water up at the top of it, but either way, still good. And
typically
we'll
you need a straw.
Don't we have straws?
Yeah, but they're like,
Damn,
ridiculous would look.
So, fantastic choice. Very refreshing.
Summer drink, with the lime and the mint.
It's getting warm here. Today broke into the 80s for like the first time, and so yes, I am still wearing a beanie. My hair is a mess. That's why.
Stop wearing a hoodie in the mornings. Regular day.
Yeah, it is getting better. But before we get started, I want to say that we are trying to come up with various different segment ideas. So if anything comes up that you guys maybe have ideas, things we can do, we're trying to come up with some ideas of things we can do on a regular basis, things we can talk about on a regular basis, because we like to have some continuity in the things that we talk about and the things that you can expect when you come to listen to our show, because ultimately, if you know what you can expect kind of coming into it, you're more likely to listen in again. So that's kind of the goal.
Yep.
That being said, segment that we decided to come up with for this week is going to be one that I've actually taken a version of it from a gaming podcast that I listen to, but it's the idea of honor and report. And basically what that looks like is we'll find one, maybe two news stories every single week of someone that deserves a bunch of credit, someone that did something great for the world and really deserves to get recognized for it, and give them
golf club.
Yeah, golf club, give them kudos. And then on the flip side, report some dumbass or something stupid that may have happened that deserves to be called out for being a dumbass.
Yeah, I got a good one for the dumbass, but
go.
Start with the dumbass?
Yeah, why not? There's no set order it has to be in.
So, this one popped in my Twitter feed where two 13-year-olds were arrested in Fresno, California for setting the town library on fire. Not only did it do that, there's two firefighters died fighting that fire.
Whoa, wait. So, 13-year-olds.
Yep.
Two of them.
Yep.
Set a library on fire.
Yes, sir.
One, why?
No clue. That article at the time, all they said they had just been arrested and charged with manslaughter. Yeah, I'm not sure what...
That was going to be my next question.
Not sure what the... they're 13 years old. Like, how... even if you charge them as adults for this stupid crime, like, how long do you really keep them? Right? It's like, I'm not sure what the laws in California are, but... That's a fuck up right there. That was like, holy shit. Because maybe consider a prank or something, but to set off the library, it's like, that is some malicious shit.
So set the library on fire. Man, I need to follow up on that because I need to know what's going to happen. I need to know why that happened. I need to know what happens to those kids. I mean, I had not heard that one.
I don't know if we'll ever get the motive right, because that rarely ever happens, especially with minors this young.
That's true.
It'd be cool to finally find out what the hell happens to them, and hopefully the families of firefighters get some type of justice, even though, they probably won't. Die on the job. That's fucking horrible, honestly. That's why it's like, it's more than a report. That's a permaban.
That, yeah, in the gaming world, that's a permaban. Your account shut down.
Man, just get your computer taken away, basically.
Go away.
Yeah.
You're done. Yeah, you got me beat. So that, like, you
no
win.
joke. I was a
You
little
win.
concerned that was going to be your backup, or your bad person.
I hadn't even seen that one, so
Okay.
that is crazy. No, so mine was a story that actually happened locally this
Okay.
week, and it was, I want to say it was like Friday night, or maybe it was like, no, I think it was maybe Monday night. Either way, it was sometime earlier this week. It was involving two cars in the East Valley, and what ended up happening were these two cars were street racing down the freeway at about 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
While they were street racing, they came up to an area that's got like a bend on the 51.
Mhm.
And one of the cars completely lost control, flipped. I believe they might have even gone into opposing traffic.
Oh shit.
And the wreckage and the crash was so bad that when you look at the wreckage, you can't identify what type of car it was. And the engine of that car was 2 lanes over.
Whoa!
Yeah, that guy died. Very, very clearly, that guy died. But you can't identify what type of car it was.
That's nuts. I think it's even sadder that, sure you didn't hear about the national story, but that happened locally. I didn't hear shit about that. That's fucking nuts. And also the car not being recognized. That's even crazier.
That was insane. The other car that was involved in it was found a couple miles down the road at a gas station because someone had identified it, and then they eventually arrested that person for street racing, reckless endangerment, whatever the end result ended up being. But that person ended up getting arrested, found, again, several miles down the street. So they fled. The person they were racing, completely dead. Car completely unidentifiable, and yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, our first episode, I guess, guest Mix. Sometimes when I watch YouTube late at night, they're watching cop videos, and they showed a local one where a truck had hit a Prius, but not the regular size Prius, like the smaller one.
Oh, like the Prius C?
Yeah, the Prius C, and crushed it between another vehicle. If someone was sitting in the back seat, that person would have been a pancake. That dude was pulled out with almost nothing, which it goes to show you how, the rest of the car was fucked, but his seat was perfectly fine. I'm not sure if it was like an act of God or just sheer luck. That dude was surviving. But man, we for a while we're like, what type of vehicle is that? It's like, is that was it the Spark? A Chevy Spark? No, because we were arguing. It's like, no, it's the fucking Prius C. That's
Dang.
what it is. Yeah, it's
that thing got crushed.
Oh yeah,
that is bad.
Even the truck got really damaged, and it was a fucking F-250. So F-250.
That's a serious accident.
Mm-hmm.
They were moving.
Yeah, it was bad. Anyways.
Jeez. So, on a flip side,
Okay.
Let's go to something positive. Well, kind of. It's a mixture of an honor and a report in this specific case. But this last weekend was NBA All-Star Weekend.
Mm.
And so for me, my honor is going to be the contestants in the dunk contest. And
Okay.
here's why.
Shoot it. Let's go.
It was entertaining. So, at the end of the day, I'm very much a basketball fan. I grew up around basketball. I played it my entire life. I love seeing anything that is entertaining. The dunks and the dunk contest itself was entertaining.
Mm.
Do I agree with how it ended? No. I think Aaron Gordon got robbed, but that's also something to do with the scoring of it and how messed up it was. But as a whole, the dunk contest, and actually really all of the events on the Saturday, were actually pretty good and pretty entertaining for what they were intended to be. We were all here watching it and having a good time, and it was actually pretty fun. Yeah. It was enjoyable. It was a good event.
I like the seals challenge where all the bigs won. Not a single guard won, advanced at all. The 3-point contest was pretty good. You got 3 people going to like over 25 threes, which I think there's more balls now than there was. But it's still impressive because I was randomly watching a Kyle Korver rookie year 3-point contest video, and he advanced with 19.
Yeah.
But it was funny just seeing Allen Iverson go crazy with a white guy on his team. Yeah, the dunk contest, I agree with you. I think Aaron Gordon should have won. But I like Derrick Jones's dunks, like, combined more. I think Aaron Gordon had, like, one that wasn't great, but he still got scored really highly, which is just, that whole scoring system's fucked up.
It's weird.
Because it's rare to see anybody get sub 45, right? So then what's the point of the first 5? Like, you can't just love everything. They give Dwight Howard's dunks like 10s, or all 10s one, and it was just a simple dunk.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the guys what.
It was a tribute to Kobe, was why they did it. But, like, when you look at it in retrospect, that dunk, and because of the score that they gave the tribute, it completely screwed the scoring for the rest of the contest. Because if you score that from the perspective of a dunk at as high as it was, I think it was scored like a 49, then all of a sudden everything else, which from purely a dunk perspective was more entertaining, has to be higher, and the only way you can go higher is by giving everyone 50s.
Reminds me of going back to like that, where was it Compton? The white guy who dunked?
Oh, Connaughton.
Like, I liked both his dunks really, really like a lot. I really thought he should have advanced, but then, we weren't going to have this show off at the end. But, dude, DJ Khaled.
That's deserving of the report side of this.
That was fucking hilarious. Like, I'm going to butcher his name, but I think it's Connaughton? Even I've just butchered it again because I've never heard that dude's name before. But, oh my God, you have one job, right, you only have to say 4 names. You couldn't have asked somebody how you say the white guy's name? I guess not. Not for DJ Khaled.
Yep.
But no.
However, I will say that introduction was the most I've ever heard him actually speak words, other than the same things over and over and over and over again. So
I don't even like half his songs, but even if there's one that you kind of get into, then you hear him yell. And completely ruins the fucking song. I'm not sure why the fuck he does it, why no one tells him to shut the fuck up. God damn it.
Alright, what's yours?
So my good guy or honor is actually a good boy. I saw a story earlier where I just love these type of stories. A 3-year-old got lost in the woods, and the mom was like, you know what? The dog is also missing. A few hours later, I think it was a few hours. I don't say it didn't. The article wasn't great, but a neighbor called the cops. Hey, I think I found a missing boy, and there's a dog with him, but he won't let me get near him. And and the dog was very defensive over anybody getting close to the kid until the mom arrived and recognized the mom and found the missing child, which is just like, man. Sometimes people, oh, it's man's best friend. Truly, that fucking dog knew something was wrong, and he knew he had to protect the child, and he did it, and that's just fucking great. Give that dude all the steaks he wants. That is the good boy of the week.
That is a good boy. That's a good dog. We're both dog lovers. We've had several dogs throughout our lives, and so we're suckers anytime we see a good story involving a dog, or just seeing a dog in public. The inner child in us comes out because
my voice goes high pitch every time we go out to eat. And I'm like, look at that doggy! I'm like a fucking teenage girl when I see a doggy. It's just fucking crazy when you see him out there.
Yeah, it is definitely a good one. So that is a cool story. Where did that happen?
Florida, near Tallahassee.
Okay, so dang. So it wasn't like super cold, but it was at least that they were lost. I mean,
it's a child, 3 years old. I don't remember anything from 3 when I was 3, so I'm pretty sure I was dumbass.
I can barely remember before like high school, and I don't even remember much of high school. Like my memory is done, like it's shot. I can remember like bits and pieces, but not anything like that.
I want to say I remember my childhood, but I'm not sure how much is that me remembering or me remembering watching home movies.
Gotcha. So for me, part of it is going to be remembering the stories that people have told me about my childhood. So family members like reminiscing on, hey, you used to do this when you were a kid. Hey, you were a little shit when you were a kid and you did this. And so I don't know if it's me remembering the stories that they're telling me about me. I will say I am extremely jealous of my wife's memory though, because she remembers vividly like being 2, 3, 4 years old.
What?
And like the things that she would do, like the toys that she would play with, the dolls that she would play with, the events she would attend with like her family, with her grandparents, like vividly remembers them, and it is mind-blowing to hear it. They're funny as hell stories, but yeah, it is absolutely mind-blowing to see how good her memory is of that like that time in her life. I can't even remember, literally I can't remember middle school or even high school.
I have faint memories of elementary school, but God, if I remember anything before I was like 6.
Not
Weird.
a chance.
Yeah, it just reminds me of our friend Namdi has a crazy memory with basketball stuff. It also got my dad, who's like, I'll ask him who the roster was of this baseball team, from '99, and he's like, oh, it was this, and this. I'm like, how do you remember that? Like, I don't even remember. I love like sports and stuff. I can't remember full rosters. Fuck that.
No way.
That's impressive. I'm kind of curious to pick her brain about that one.
Yeah, there are some fun stories. I will say that much. They're definitely have me laughing, and they're good. I'm not gonna share them because it's not my place to share them.
Yeah, I'm gonna share one of me. I think I got from a home video because your coffee table just reminded me of it. There is a home movie of me at maybe 2, probably 3. I can't really remember, but I was at a coffee table in our house in LA, and my dad gave me a whole beef tongue burrito. And it was a video of me just like forking that shit, just cutting it open. Like, ow! It's like that to me is my earliest memory. But again, I don't remember doing it, but I remember watching that home video of me eating a fucking burrito. And that, kids, is how beef tongue is one of my favorite foods. Been eating it since I was yay tall.
If anyone questioned whether or not you were Mexican,
sure
that answers it, because beef tongue burrito, 3 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good memories.
Beef tongue burrito, 3 years old.
I'm fucking hungry now.
I know, right? We don't actually eat.
Yeah, we didn't eat dinner.
I think the last time I ate was at like 1 o'clock today, and it's now 8:30. So yeah, I should probably have eaten, especially before having this, but it'll be all right.
You know who needs to stop eating? That fucking NFL player who probably had a shitload of munchies because was it the Browns offensive tackle?
Yeah, offensive tackle, Greg Robinson.
Yeah, he was caught in, I think, Texas with 157 pounds of weed. That motherfucker was hungry. I'm not sure if for money or...
He's an offensive tackle, so he's already a big boy.
Yeah.
Like, he's already 300 plus pounds, probably pushing almost 350.
Yep.
And then 157 pounds of weed, like, obviously, that's distribution.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have that much that you're trying to push, that you are definitely going to smoke some of that too. And so I can only imagine how much he would eat if he gets the munchies, or when he gets the munchies.
I got 2 issues with this. One, you're an NFL player. I know your contract just ended, and you clearly should be looking for another fucking job, right? Not going and selling weed. He was drafted in, I think, he was the first round, 2nd overall pick in 2014. So
I don't know.
Was it 6 years after?
6 years ago.
So it's probably mid-20s.
Yeah,
at the youngest. Yeah. Clearly, you can probably still play. Try to get some type of money in the NFL while you can, right? Chase, I think, was it Marshawn Lynch who said when he retired, protect your chickens. Try to get as much money you can, right? Like until they kick you out, bro. Why the fuck are you? You really need to be selling this much fucking weed? Like, you have so many opportunities, but that, and then I think we've really gone down in our thoughts of marijuana over the past few years.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't give a fuck. I mean, it smells really weird.
I don't enjoy the smell, but I don't have any issues with it. Like, if you want to smoke, smoke. I don't care.
Yep.
As long as you're not putting other people at risk as a result of you doing it.
Or blowing it in my face. But that's my same things for cigarettes, right? Like,
yeah.
Don't blow it in my face.
I generally don't care what people do, as long as it doesn't put other people at risk.
Mm-hmm.
If all you're doing is harming yourself, and
go for it.
Go for it. Knock yourself out. I don't care.
Yep.
In most cases. There are exceptions to that rule. But in most cases, do what you want. It's your life. But
you should, again, like, with weed laws being what they are, I mean, that's clearly trafficking. You know
that is trafficking no matter what.
Whatever happens to you, dude, you kind of deserved it.
Yeah. Like, if he had, like, 1 pound, that's a whole different story. It's like, all right, you know,
I have a nice stash.
Yeah, I wouldn't care that any of this is on 1 pound, even like 5 pounds. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what? Go do you. 157 pounds. That's straight up trafficking, and that will 100% get you in trouble.
The best thing that came out of this was I was on the Arizona Cardinals subreddit a few days ago when the story broke, and someone commented, "This motherfucker was carrying a Kyler Murray's worth of marijuana." Kyler Murray is a starting quarterback for the Cardinals. If you don't know, he is, I think, 5'9", and I'm pretty sure he weighs 160 pounds. So it's not off. I fucking lost it, bro.
160 pounds on his back. Let's go.
Oh my god, I fucking lost it. I was like, oh my god, because it's so fucking true. He was carrying a quarterback's worth of weed.
That's literally the definition of carrying your quarterback.
That. I mean, I think that guy would be up for a dumbass of the week.
Yeah.
If we ever make an award like that, that's clearly a dumbass.
That is up there with dumbass of the week without a doubt. Yeah, I'm curious to see what ends up happening, but that is another one. I will say, I know we limited the whole honor report thing to just one.
Okay.
I do have a second one because it's pissed me off to the point that I've actually already done something about it to change it. So, for those of you that don't know, companies regularly will sell your email when you sign up for a service in order to make more money on the back end. They sell it to other providers, and that's where spam comes from. Spam in your email inbox literally means that some company has sold your email address to advertisers to spam you. So, I have gone to extreme lengths in the past to make sure that I don't get spam. My email is extremely filtered, and emails that I use, I have one that is exclusive for like signing up for things, but then I have my own personal one, which is a very specific domain in just my name that is extremely hard to get. The actual domain doesn't even exist anymore, but mine is still active. And it's in my name, first dot last name, that's it. Somehow, in the last 2 weeks, I started getting spam on that email. And I'm pissed. Some random ass company sold my email address, so this email that I have curated and gotten down to exactly how I want it, meticulously how I want it, is now receiving spam, and I can do nothing about it because I don't know who sold it. It is infuriating. I can't figure it out. So, it's almost an extreme. It's definitely an extreme. I told my wife what I did, and she just looked at me like I'm a total nerd and I'm crazy.
Oh, I'm fucking scared now.
Yes. So, I own 3 different domains that I use for various things. I have one for each of the 2 businesses that I do on the side, plus another one that I use just as kind of a free domain that I share with my dad because he has his own business, so we did a joint one. So anyways, I have 3 different domains. On one of those domains, I don't use the email for it at all. I don't use it for anything. It just kind of sits there. So I've decided that I'm going to make that my now email to sign up for things.
Mm-hmm.
However, under my domain, I configured a catch-all. So what I did is essentially anything that comes before the @domainname.com, anything that you put before that will go to my inbox. However, whatever that name is before it will now be who that company thinks is the name of the person that owns the account.
Oh, god damn it.
So, for example, like, let's just say Amazon. Massive company, whatever. So, in that specific case, if I sign up for them using that domain, the email would be amazon@domainname.com. And so, every single email that is sent to them, or if they sell that email, will be addressed to Amazon. Because it'll think that's the name of the account.
Oh, god damn it, man. Just let it go. You spam. Just delete the fucking emails.
If I get spam again,
oh, Jesus,
I will know exactly who did it and who sold my information. So I can freaking stop using every service from that company and go on almost like a scorched earth campaign that I have done when a company sold me a dud of a car. It was so bad.
Oh, I know what.
Yeah. I went on such a massive scorched earth campaign for this company that sold me this car that was advertised as perfect. It was the exact opposite of perfect. That I went on such a campaign, such a just social media, blogs, everything. They bought the car back from me just to shut me up.
You've got a habit of not letting shit go.
A little bit.
I mean, do you remember your month-long battle to try to get Wendy's to reply to you? That was a few months. After a while, I'm like, man, just let it go. Just let it go. They fucked up your sandwich. Just fucking let it go. Which again, throw back to last week when you complained about restaurants fucking up his order. God damn it. You just let shit go.
Yeah. I get bored, and so I just go to the extreme on things. And so yeah, I now have a catch-all on my domain, so I will know exactly
it's smart
who sold my info.
It would be cool to do that, but it reminds me kind of this subreddit r/asshole design, where you have to agree to the terms of service to anything you use.
Yep.
And if you don't agree, you can't use the site. And you're like, well, I'm fucking up against the wall. I need to use your website or I need to use your service. So he's like, they just fuck us around. We can't really do shit about it. Yeah, fuck that shit. But man, that's actually smart. It's a lot of energy to put into that shit. I'm too tired for that.
And it's continuous energy too. That's the worst part because I now have to remember that every service I sign up for, I have to create basically an email address for that service. Yeah, specifically for that reason. I know, I'm a little crazy.
Just a bit.
I have issues, but I am fully aware of it. And you know what? I'm okay with it. Because...
Do you?
Yeah.
Kind of like you just said, if whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't harm anybody. Not harming anybody, maybe annoy a company. I doubt they'll even fucking notice, but at least you know what company's fucking you over.
Yeah, but you bet your ass that if a company does sell my info, it will then become their problem.
God damn it. We brought this back to last week. And you remember last week you told me about buying a dash cam?
Yep. I still say, if you don't have a dash cam, you need to do it.
Yo.
Go get one.
So, as soon as I saw this happening, I'm like, God damn man, I should have bought a fucking dash cam. I was on my way to visit with some people from work. And I had I waited for a long ass train. And as soon as the train went by, I turned, and then I see an act of road rage on the other street. And there's some woman yelling at another woman. She got out of her car like, man, I wish I would have seen the whole picture of this, because clearly the train was hiding it, because I really want to know what the fuck happened. But man, she was so fucking pissed, hitting on the other woman's car. And I turned the car and was like, fuck, I need a dash cam. This would have been hilarious. And this, God.
So, not necessarily the intended purpose of a dash cam. You know, a dash cam's supposed to protect you in case you get in an accident. You know, where you need to involve insurance. You can prove that it wasn't your fault. Those types of things. But that is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine, is road rage dash cam videos on YouTube and dash cam compilations. I definitely am guilty. I have several of them saved just from my own dash cam. I've probably got about 10 or 15 videos saved over the last like year and a half that I've owned my truck of just like random dumb shit that's happened while I was driving. And you know, it's not necessarily the intended purpose, but it is a guilty pleasure of mine to watch those back.
There's only been 2 times where I wanted a dash cam. This was one of them, which, you know, could have let go. It's whatever. The other one was I was going home, and a car veered past the median into oncoming traffic and just happened to hit the corner of another vehicle, like straight on. And the next thing I know, that Jetta's tire flew the fuck off. It was a crazy ass crash. It's one of the worst things. Well, it's because it's the only one I remember actually seeing happening before my eyes, right? And I haven't forgotten it since, and it's been years. And I'm like, is that person alive? And then I remember seeing the people responsible for the accident, just like, they were moving. I'm like, okay, so at least they're good. And then, you know, the light turned green and I went home.
You're a great witness. Generally speaking, for an accident, a witness, you want to stay around to leave a statement.
I mean, it was rush hour traffic. Someone probably did. Sorry. I was on... There was no safe place for me to pull off. Pause. Yeah, pull over. Pull over.
English is hard.
It's my second language. I have my reasons. But yeah, that's the only one I can actually remember. Fuck. That's the only reason I've ever really wanted a dash cam, is just because of what happened in that accident. Because I really wish I could have shown you guys, because I remember describing it to you guys like immediately after it happened, but it could not capture exactly what I saw. It was fucking crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
End of the story, or end of the day, go buy a dash cam. I'm going to be a broken record on this every single time it comes up in a conversation, because I am a very huge advocate for having a dash cam. So go get one, and I won't beat a dead horse about this anymore. Instead, we'll move on to
if I'm talking about my week of work, I want to go back to last week where you cut me off. I want to tell you about my boss pissing off a homeowner, where I just get an email from my board at one of my communities saying some owner is going off on a guy named Tim, that he's fucking terrible at customer service.
Not his actual name, by the way.
Yeah. But. And he was just like, that homeowner was just going crazy and complaining, and she was so angry she couldn't even spell right in her fucking post. There's a neighborhood app. What is it? Like Nextdoor?
Oh, Nextdoor, yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's a Nextdoor for that community. So I'm like, whoa, shit, that's interesting. I kind of look into it, and it makes sense where we're supposed to send like their monthly statements, and it went out way too early. And it showed like she owed 2 months worth of bills. Not true. If she would have just read, like, it's as of this date, this is what you already paid, you're fine. But she refused to understand that. I sent the email to my boss, like, hey, you know, in case, because I think most companies care a lot about like online reviews, but my company makes a big deal out of it too. It's like, hey, just in case there's a negative Google review or on Yelp or whatever, here's this, just, you know, warn people. And then he called me like 10 minutes later. He's like, you know what, man? That lady was a fucking idiot. I tried to explain to her, but I could not get a word in edgewise. She's like, I tried to explain to a bill. She said I demeaned her because I was explaining her how to read a bill, because she knew how to read a bill. Clearly she didn't, because if she did, she wouldn't be calling us. And oh my god, my boss kind of went off, and then she said, you know, she said she's gonna fucking contact the attorney general about us, and that we're trying to steal her money and everything. And you know what? At the end, she kept hanging up on me, and I stopped chasing it. And I like using this phrase a lot, and you know what? I don't know. I don't care. I might offend you. I say, you know what? I don't care if I offend you. That's some white people shit. I think when my boss was extremely white, and he just loses like, oh my god, yeah, that is some white people shit. I fucking lost it because he loves it.
You've taken me down a rabbit hole now for that too.
Okay.
Why is it? I have yet to figure this out. Why is it that people are so quick to say, I'm going to contact the Attorney General. I'm going to contact a lawyer. I'm going to contact my congressman. I'm like,
they don't give a shit about you.
Why is that an excuse? And why is it always the trashiest people that use it? I'm like, please, contact your lawyer that you have on retainer that will just take up anything that you say and any crazy case that you say. I'm sure you can totally afford to have a lawyer on retainer at all times.
Dude.
Oh god.
I paid an attorney's fee for one of my buildings. I was shocked when I got the bill, especially when I was reading what he charged me for. That motherfucker charged me to take me out to lunch. He charged us for his time when we went out to lunch. No, and here's the kicker. I paid for the lunch. I was so pissed. I brought my engineer because my engineer went with us. And I was like, yo.
That is golden.
I was like, look at this. And he's like, what? What is he charging us? We're like, well, this makes sense. But look at this. He charged us. I think this motherfucker makes like $450 an hour. I'm pretty sure I paid $600 to eat lunch with him. And I also paid for the lunch. I forgot how much the lunch was. It was at State 48 Brewery.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a cheap lunch.
Yeah, no, that would have been. I mean, you're looking minimum like $20 a person.
Yeah, it was around about that. If I remember, yeah, it wasn't cheap, but it was just like, bro, what the fuck? He charged us for lunch. And then I called him like the other day about something else. Like, oh yeah, I still owe you lunch. I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't like too in a hurry to do it because in case he wanted to charge me again for lunch.
At that point, I'd call him out. I'd be like, all right, man, we can definitely go to lunch, but you're not billing me for that time.
No, here's the thing. It's like, it made sense we discussed, legal matters, right?
Yeah, and so, I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, but...
But, like, reduce your rate. I bought you fucking lunch. I bought you a burger and like, your tater tots and your drink, you motherfucker. Fuck that shit. But it's the rate, like, I think he's partnered, his name is on the firm, so it's a big deal, and I don't know. But, I don't know, I was thinking we hit it off, like, he give us a discount, which is what you're supposed to try. You're supposed to try to build relationships, and they end up paying in the long run. Like, I had 2 police officers show up the other day. I went to a bar before because I had a board meeting that night. Just try to prep myself for this shit. I went back to work a little bit happier than I should have been. And there's 2 officers waiting for me. I'm like, oh fuck. They were looking for a drone that was flying around the building, and we're 5 miles from the airport, so that's illegal. That's what they were looking for. But I took advantage of them being there. I was like, hey, you guys want to see the roof of the building? Maybe you can see the drone. And they quickly said yes. Obviously, the drone driver was gone, but they wanted it, and they enjoyed it. And like, I'll be honest with you, the reason I brought you up here is because if something happens, I want you guys to respond quicker. And I was like, yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, fuck, we'll remember the building. I was like, cool. That's what life is about. You build relationships.
Yep.
Whether in college, because your college connections when we get you a job later, or while you have a job, these connections will. That is probably the best advice anyone will ever give you: is make connections, you keep them, because those will pay off. Clearly, I don't think we made enough connections.
No, I agree. Considering
it's just I don't know. We don't like many people.
No. Yeah, definitely should have done more of that in like high school, college, but. It is what it is. We learn now. We got older. We learn.
Yep.
And kind of grown from there. But
I think those are my stories of the week. There wasn't much else happening at work. I was too busy doing other shit.
I don't have too many stories. I gotta go out of town next week. My company is having us go out for a conference all week long, Monday through Friday. So I'm flying out Monday morning at like 7 in the morning, coming back Friday night at 11 o'clock.
God damn.
Yeah, so 5 days of meetings, conferences, all of that I get to sit through.
What part?
Downtown LA.
Oh, that's not bad.
So, I mean, could be worse. while I'm out there.
You
Just
know,
hanging
where
out, visit
area you're
friends,
staying
stuff
at?
like that. Yeah, like literally downtown. Like literally staying in downtown LA. So it'll be interesting. They're paying for hotel and plane and all of that. I was debating like, oh, do I just drive out there so I have my own car? I'm like, no, fuck that. I want to. Like they want to pay for plane. I'm gonna let them pay for it, and I can.
Downtown is obviously over there. It's not that big. I told you I walked the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
And like I walked from one end to the other. It was like 2 miles.
Yeah.
I was shocked how small it was.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll be gone all week.
Okay.
Next week, that'll be interesting. That'll be fun.
I hope that he comes back with good stories of, again, white people shit.
Yeah. Oh, it will be. There will be stories, without a doubt. I'm sure of it. But as I digress, we get on to our next topic. We actually saw a really good thread that we saw just last night that sparked up a really good conversation with us. So a little bit of background about us. We've both been very invested in the video game world. We both kind of played, specifically for us, it was Call of Duty. That was a very high end. I was about as close to, I don't even know that you would call it like a pro player, but I mean, I made money off of playing the game.
Pro-am?
Yeah. And so, I mean, I made money off of playing it for like 5 years. And it was enough to pay for the game, pay for like the DLC, pay for like all of those things, and like additional expenses, consoles, controllers, all of that. So, came out cool. So, the question that came up, we saw a thread, and it was, what video game have you played throughout your life that was worth the money that you paid for it? And from a technicality standpoint, I was like, well, for me, Call of Duty, like, just because like I actually made money off of it and made that money back.
Yeah.
But from the spirit of the question is basically, what game have you spent so much time in, have you enjoyed so much that it's worth the amount of money that you spent on it, and you truly just felt like it was worth it?
I mean, for me, the first game that came to mind was GTA 5. It came out in 2012, and I'm still fucking playing it.
It's been 8 years?
It's been 8 years, and dude, I remember
waiting for that game.
Me too! Oh my god, I remember waiting outside that fucking GameStop in the ghetto for that shit. But like, every time we go on there, it's just shenanigans of the dumb shit we get. We don't go in for the plan. Like, the heists, when they came out, were cool, but everything, but we had the most fun just fucking around with the random shit that's in the game. That was the one that came to mind. Minecraft, but again, I bought it when it was an alpha, so it was
we paid like
$9. Yeah, so clearly that one's gonna be a lot. Call of Duty's not too far away. I mean, every time I log into Modern Warfare 2, I go back and see how much days worth of game time we played. You guys played way more than I did. I think for me it was like 39 days of Call of Duty, and that's just one of the versions.
Every year.
They had way more. Fuck, I think Mix had like 100 days and shit.
It was insane.
It was. I mean, it's sad when you think about it, because clearly we had no lives back then. That one, and then one that's always close to my heart is Age of Empires. I remember my brother went to Mexico for a few months and came back with a version of Age of Empires 2 in Spanish. And I played the shit out of that. That was my first PC game that I remember. I loved it so much that as soon as I got a PC, it's the first game I bought.
That's right. I remember that. You finally built your PC, what, like 2-3 years ago?
Yep.
And first game, this guy like builds a brand new PC from scratch. First game he downloads is friggin' 10 years old, 15 years old, Age of Empires 2.
No, it was 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. That fucking great. I mean, I bought the HD version because they keep releasing it. Clearly, it's gonna make money because they've released 2 higher def versions of it. Man, it's just, it takes me away. Like it takes no. You don't have to pay attention. I can have like The Simpsons playing on the background and just like doing my thing, and it just takes me out of the world. I think that's why I enjoy it so much. Minecraft had that same effect on me early on, but those are the 4 or 5 that came to my mind immediately.
For me, my number one is such a like cult classic and such like a niche game that so few people ever played it, but the people that did play it have all said that it's like the greatest game ever. Sorry. People that did play it said it was like the greatest game ever. It's a PlayStation 1 game called The Legend of Dragoon.
Oh, shit. I did not see that coming.
It is a JRPG, so Japanese RPG. No, there's no speech. It's all text. It's one of the first games, if not the first game, to have like animated cutscenes, all of that. It was such a huge game when it came out on the PS1. It had 4 discs. That's how big that game was.
What the fuck?
I remember going in, like when you would grind, you would play in a game, or like you would be on like disc 3 and you would want to go back to something that happened, like a location or something that happened on like disc 1. The game would actually tell you, please eject disc, put in disc 1. So like legit,
shit.
It ejects the game out, you put the new disc in, it reloads it, and you keep playing.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it gets even better. So they re-released it on, I want to say it was the PS3, because it never came to the PS4, but it was on the PS3. They re-released it. It wasn't a remaster, nothing. It was the original graphics, everything. But they didn't bother to remove the disc mechanic. It was a digital download that still required 4 discs. So it was a digital download that when it got to the point, so when you finished disc 1, you had to go to disc 2. You had to press the PlayStation button on like your controller to bring up the PlayStation menu, and then there was a new option on your little thing where it would say like game info, more info, you know, closed disc or closed game, like all of that. They added a new option that said change disc.
God damn it.
So you digitally and virtually changed the disc from disc 1 to disc 2 just by pressing the little button in there to change it over. The fact that they included that in a re-release of the game made me laugh so damn hard.
That's just laziness, but you know what? It's pretty funny.
That is, I've never seen that. I've never seen a game take up that much space. That is and will always be like my favorite game ever. I am convinced that it has the best combat system of any like RPG as well too. Again, I'm a total nerd. I will get a ton of flame for that from other people that have played other games. I don't really care because that's my preference. Number 2 is also another JRPG, Final Fantasy X. I've literally bought that game and played it on 5 different systems.
Jesus Christ.
It originally launched on the PS2. Then it re-released on the PS3. Then it got an HD remaster on the PS4. Then they released that HD remaster on Steam. And now it's available on the Switch.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I've bought every version of it every time. And I've played it every time. And put over 100 or more hours into it every single time. I love that game.
How many hours do you have to put into the game to feel like you got your money's worth?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know that I have an hours amount set to it, because one of the games that I was thinking of when we started talking about this was Breath of the Wild, the new Zelda game that came out for Switch. It was one of the launch titles for the Switch. Realistically, I've probably put like somewhere between 30 to 50 hours in that game over the course of the last 2 years. That's not that much. Like 30 to 50 hours of total gameplay over the course of like a year and a half, 2 years. That's not that much time. But it's such a damn good game. It just like, it sucks you in, it brings you in, that is why I say worth.
Okay. I remember I was listening to a podcast like 5-6 years ago, and this question came up. And the guy just jokingly said $1 1 hour. Again, I'm not sure if he was serious or not, but I was like, that's not a bad bar. Sometimes you feel like it may be over dramatic, because like trying to think of a game, but like clearly we play League of Legends. We used to, anyways, and we've spent hundreds of dollars on that. But again, I think we got our money's worth on. At least maybe even broken even. But I mean, we've definitely played more than the money we've spent into that. If it's $1 1 hour.
League, I've spent like to this day. It's still my go-to when I don't know what else I want to play. Like, that's still my go-to. I watch the competitive scene pretty much every week. I listen to now 3 different podcasts that are all focused around League. I just enjoy it. It's an interesting world to me because it's involving like pro sports plus a game that's actually enjoyable, that's constantly evolving and changing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of a game that I've played less than $1 1 hour that I feel like I got my money's worth, but it's hard. I don't know, man. Actually, when you said PlayStation 1, I remember playing the first GTA on that one.
Dude,
when it went overhead.
Top down.
Yeah, top down. Oh my god. And it's like, this is GTA? I couldn't believe it because I remember my first GTA was Vice City.
Yeah.
And when I went back to this, like, this is not GTA. I think they're fucking lying to me. Oh my god, no.
Right? It's changed a lot. I think my first one was GTA 3, and then I went back and like played 1 and 2. But yeah, it was such an insane series, such an insane franchise.
Yeah, that's God. Now I have to think about that. I'm not gonna think about it now because it's not gonna. You know, when you're thinking about something, it's something not gonna. It's gonna come like half an hour later in the post show.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be talking about this afterwards, make another drink, start thinking more, and then he's going to remember it. And then it's going to go on the docket for next episode because he's going to interject and include something like he did from last week. So, But on that note, I think we're going to call it for tonight. I think we're going to call it, that is season 4. Or
episode 4.
Episode 4.
He's British right now.
Yeah. So it's episode 4. Of the Nobody Important podcast. Thank you guys for watching, listening, and let us know what you think as far as video quality, audio quality. It's kind of a new setup we're trying out, so we hope we worked out all the kinks before we got this all going. But from initial perspective, I think it looks good. I think it came out better. I think it's an overall improvement. So look forward to more and more episodes. Probably will not have an episode next week just because I'll be out of town, but following week should have another one going, and then
sure. I mean, we'll record whenever we get to it.
Yeah,
literally, we try once a week, but we're busy. But
yeah,
we try.
Things come up. We'll have more guests, things like that. The last couple episodes have been just us, so we'll get more guests on, get more people that we can kind of have some interactions with, have some more conversations with, get involved in that. But that being said, please follow YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, all of the above. Give us a follow. Nobody Important Podcast. It's that simple. That's literally all you gotta search for is Nobody Important Podcast. You'll find us. And yeah.
That is it.
Cool. Thanks,
Later.
guys. Have a good one.